know they slipping on.
I know that shit that I'm wearing embarrassing everyone else, I don't care. I know my brothers, they got me, they know that I got them, they call me, I'm dead.
Hello everyone, my name's Joey and welcome to another video of Top Mojo. 2016 has seen some of the best game releases ever, including the amazing Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, as well as the likes of No Man's Sky and more. But there's still plenty to come in 2016 and 2017 and we can't wait. Lots of great looking PS4 and Xbox One games are coming, as well as some PC and Nintendo console gems. In order of release date, these are the games we're most excited about for 2016 and beyond. At E3 2015, Ubisoft showed its upcoming For Honor third-person melee game, which it says mixes speed, strategy and team play with visceral close-range combat. For Honor is a medieval warfare game in which you play as a Viking, samurai or knight. Ubisoft has given each of these factions its own unique abilities and prospect. The Vikings, also called Warborn, are fiery and aggressive. The samurais, also called Chosen, value combat mystery, and the knights, also called legions, focus on controlled thrust and parry. Ubisoft has tried something new in this game, whereby players use the controller's analog sticks rather than its buttons to control movements and actions in battle. This demands greater accuracy in gameplay in order for a player to be successful. Although it was expected to be launched in 2016, the For Honor release date is February 14, 2017 on PlayStation 4, Xbox One and PC. During Sony's Paris Games Week in 2015, we got our first look at an exciting future PS4 exclusive called Detroit: Become Human. It's a sci-fi game created by Heavy Rain and Beyond, Two Souls developer Quantic Dream. Now, following the PlayStation E3 conference in 2016, we've got new details on the game, plus a new gameplay trailer which shows how the player gets to make decisions which affect the story. Detroit: Become Human is a sci-fi game that centers around an android with artificial consciousness and human emotions named Kara, who escapes from the factory she was made in. She finds herself in Detroit, USA, where androids are not uncommon but have been made without consciousness, so are simply used as tools to improve the lives of humans. Quantic Dream founder and CEO David Cage has said, "It's very, very exciting, something different from Beyond, Two Souls and Heavy Rain, building on the same grounds but in a very, very different way." Cage says he's aiming for a game that's moving and meaningful, exploring themes that are meaningful in our world. Right now, there's no official release date for Detroit: Become Human, and the latest information on the PlayStation blog is that the gameplay trailer is only a first look. We're not expecting to see the game launch until 2017 on PS4. Star Citizen is a crowd-funded game that brings together solo, cooperative, FPS, third-person, open-world gameplay and mixes space exploration alongside with hand-to-hand combat. There is a lot the game has to offer, but its release date has made a lot of people skeptical. Star Citizen was due for a commercial release in 2016, but has now been pushed back to 2017. Cloud Imperium Games announced the delay at CitizenCon, but didn't comment further on exactly when in 2017 we'd see the game. However, it's said to be working on getting one of the game's 28 chapters to release quality so it can showcase it, but that would suggest there is still a long way to go if there are another 27 chapters to finish afterward. The Star Citizen FPS, third-person, exploration game has undergone a few preview releases for backers on Kickstarter and those who have invested in the game's development. There was an initial alpha release of the Hangar module, allowing backers to explore, upgrade and modify their ships in first person. Later in 2014, the Arena Commander module allowed backers to test ship combat and racing, where it also included 4-player cooperative gameplay. The game is purely, and rightfully, built only for PC, Windows or Linux. It won't be available on other platforms like Mac, Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS3, PS4, Wii U or anything else you can think of. The long-awaited sequel to Bethesda's hit 2012 game Dishonored is almost here. Announced at E3 2015, Dishonored 2 is expected this year. Bethesda announced various games at E3 2015, including Fallout Shelter, Elder Scrolls Legends and Battlecry, but Dishonored 2 was undoubtedly one of the biggest announcements of the night. It represented the first time Bethesda had ever held a press conference at E3, and it went down a treat with gamers. Officially unveiled at Gamescom 2015 in August, Crackdown 3 is set to be one of the most exciting games on the horizon. Not only does it offer a new game in the Crackdown saga, which was first released in 2007, but it showcases some truly amazing technical advancements that make it stand out from the crowd. So, what makes Crackdown 3 one of the best technical demos we've ever seen? The developers were proud to announce that Crackdown 3 will feature a fully destructible environment when playing online, meaning that if you desired, you could destroy every single building in your environment. How can this be possible? It's all down to Microsoft Cloud, Microsoft's cloud computing feature, which the developers can utilize. The game was meant to launch in summer 2016, but creative director at Reagent Games, Dave Jones, posted an update to say that the sheer scale of the game was proving challenging and that it had no real option but to delay Crackdown 3's release until 2017. At Gamescom 2015 there was mention of a multiplayer beta that should make its way to consoles in summer 2016, but that is also delayed. However, there's good news for PC gamers. Crackdown 3 will be an Xbox Play Anywhere title, so you can buy it on either Xbox One or Windows 10 and play it on your console or PC, and your save game progress will sync across both. It won't be available on the PS4. Death Stranding is the first game produced by Kojima Productions with ex-Metal Gear Solid director Hideo Kojima, and it's as weird and fascinating as the name suggests. We were treated to a rather cryptic announcement trailer during Sony's E3 2016 press conference featuring The Walking Dead's Norman Reedus, a disappearing baby and a fairly bleak, almost post-apocalyptic setting, but not much else. Death Stranding was unveiled during Sony's E3 2016 press conference with one of the most cryptic announcement trailers we've ever seen, and days after the event we're still trying to figure out what is going on. So, what do we know? The Walking Dead's Norman Reedus is the main character in the upcoming game set in a mysterious, fairly bleak setting, but beyond that, we don't know too much. Of course, the biggest question right now is when is Death Stranding coming out? And sadly, it might not be for a while. There was no official release date window mentioned during its reveal at Sony's E3 2016 press conference. Sony started off its E3 conference with a new God of War game. It isn't God of War 4, and it isn't a reboot. The story follows on from previous games. Santa Monica Studio has been working on the game for several years. Creative director Cory Barlog says on the PlayStation blog that the aim was to create a different, better and truly more memorable experience than before. He explains that it's not a reboot, not a retelling of the original story. Instead, he wanted to reimagine the gameplay, give players a fresh perspective and a new tactile experience while delving deeper into the emotional journey of Kratos to explore the compelling drama that unfolds when an immortal demigod makes a decision to change. Development is still ongoing, and Barlog says the trailer is an early first glimpse of the new game. Right now there isn't even a year to which anyone can pin the game's release. Bethesda announced a flurry of new games and DLC for existing games during its E3 2016 press conference, but one of the biggest surprises was the announcement of Prey. Why? Prey had originally been announced 5 years ago, but was cancelled 2 years ago by Bethesda. Now the company has a new developer working on the game, and has been completely overhauled. So, what can we expect from the cancelled then revived Prey? The game has completely changed from the one introduced to us 5 years ago by Human Head, with the game development now being handled by Arkane Studios. We're looking at a sci-fi first-person shooter where you're aboard a space station in 2032 working on an experiment meant to change the course of human evolution. Dramatic, but, as these things go, the station has been overrun by aliens. There was no mention of a release date in the Bethesda E3 2016 press conference where the game was announced, only a date of 2017 at the end of the announcement trailer and on the Steam listing, which appeared after the event. Bethesda is staying pretty tight-lipped on the availability of the game, but we know for sure it's coming out on PC as the Steam store pages already live. As part of Sony's Paris Games Week, a new game for PS4 has been announced and it's grabbed our interest. Matterfall follows an unexpected hero fighting for survival on a ravished sci-fi world infected by a mysterious and deadly alien material known only as smart matter, said Sony in a blog post. The game comes from House MR, responsible for the Super Stardust, Delta and Resogun, which Sony describes as its favorite arcade action masters. It seems the special effects of Matterfall are a key draw for players. The Matterfall official trailer is not one to miss. And no, this is not Vanquish 2, as much as some of you might want it to be. There's no official Matterfall release date just yet. We expect it will arrive around November in 2016, and that's if there are no delays. In terms of platforms, Matterfall has been announced for the PS4 only at the moment, but that doesn't mean it will never arrive on Xbox One or PC. Red Dead Redemption is a hugely popular game boasting over 13 million players, all of whom are still hoping for a Red Dead 2, and after years of waiting, a sequel, or is that prequel, is coming to PS4 and Xbox One. Red Dead Redemption, an open-world Western action-adventure game, was released in 2010, and we've been eagerly awaiting a new installment in the franchise since then. Prior to that, the original game in the Red Dead series, called Red Dead Revolver, was released in 2004. With a 6-year gap between Red Dead Revolver and Red Dead Redemption, we imagine that means we should be seeing a Red Dead Redemption 2 announcement during 2016. The biggest evidence to suggest that Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming at some point in the future comes from Rockstar Games, which said back in 2012 that it had plans to release a new game in the series. On October 18, 2016, Rockstar Games took to social media to confirm that Red Dead Redemption 2 would be released in fall 2017. Watch Dogs 2 has been officially unveiled at E3 2016, showcasing a game that looks to be a huge improvement on the slightly disappointing original. With a new protagonist, new settings and, most importantly, new gadgets, Watch Dogs 2 looks to offer a much more exciting experience. Watch Dogs 2 is to take place in the bustling metropolis of San Francisco, a welcomed and refreshing change of scenery when compared to the dreary Chicago setting of the first game. The game is said to follow the same basic template as the original with all-round improvements, with Ubisoft Montreal adding a myriad of new features including a cool drone to be used for surveillance. The game was heavily leaked prior to its worldwide announcement at E3 2016, including its release date and even a part of the announcement trailer. So, when is it due out? We haven't got too long to wait, as Watch Dogs 2 is set to be released in the UK on November 15, 2016 across all platforms. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you liked our most anticipated games collection for 2016 and beyond. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Top Mojo, and tell us what's your favorite upcoming games for 2017 in the comments section. See you in my next video.